I'm let's say old guy from Austria, from Vienna, 54. And what I'm doing here is tactical medicine training for a battalion here. But it's not only tactical medicine training, we are also building up a medical unit. But this needs a lot of time because of bureaucracy. And we want to make it exactly by the law, not just doing something by the law. And this will take a lot of time. But the tactical medicine training is very important. And so we are happy to do it, and we will do it as long as we are needed. So until the end of this war, of course, and maybe longer.
Interesting thing about Austria is that Austria is considered more or less neutral country, a bit like Switzerland. Can you say the same about Austrian people?
Yes and no. I think most of the Austrian people are neutral and don't understand what this means. They like my generation. We grew up in a country where we thought neutrality means you are safe and you don't have to do anything. Everybody accepts that you are neutral, and so everything is fine. But when I was very young at school, I learned immediately what neutrality means, because I was bullied. I was the small, thin guy, and I was bullied every day. And all the people around could see it, but they were neutral. They thought like, they are kids, let them fight. But I didn't want to fight. So I learned the hard way what it means when other people are neutral. So it wasn't too funny for me. So for me, neutrality always was, if you're neutral, you can have a neutral ground where everybody can come to you and discuss things and talk about things. And this is a good place to talk about it. But then you have to be like neutral in this way. But Austria is not neutral in this way. Austria is just neutral in military way, not politically. The Austrian politics is not neutral. So this is, at the one hand, it's what I want, because Austria always said Russians are the aggressors. Always. The military neutrality just means we don't want to do anything and we hope it is fine. For Austria, it is fine because we are surrounded by NATO. So it is very easy to be neutral, being surrounded by NATO. It's a good way, it's cheap, but no, it is not okay. This, for me, this is not okay. And I think people have to think about this and change it. In my opinion, they have to change it. We can't be neutral in Austria anymore, but it is the law, and I have to act as an Austrian citizen. So in this war here in Ukraine, I also have to be some kind of military neutral. So I'm not allowed to sign a contract. I'm not allowed to join the armed forces. Not being Austrian, I would. But as an Austrian, I'm not allowed to do it. But I found my way to support Ukraine in a way that is allowed.
What's your impression about Ukraine?
When this big war started, I didn't know anything. For me, Ukraine was like something like Russia. So this is what most of us in Austria think or thought about Ukraine, because we didn't know it. We didn't know about the history. We didn't know about anything that is connected with the eastern part of Europe. For us, our history is our history. We are focused on World War II and all of this. but we didn't realize that World War II didn't end. For us, World War II, the end was in 45. This was the end of World War II, but not for you, not for Ukraine. It was the end of World War II, but not the end, because the Russians didn't go home. So, but I had to learn all of this. For me, all of this here was part of. They are like the Russians. The language sounds like the Russian language and so on. Now I know it is completely BS, completely. But I had to learn it, and I had. It took some time to learn it. I started volunteering for Ukraine at the very beginning of this war. At the moment Putin sent his troops, for me it was clear, no, I can't just be at home in Vienna and doing nothing. It was very clear. So I started immediately, and after a short time, I filled my car with medical supplies and came to Ukraine the first time, and then again and again and again. So when I was in Ukraine the second time, it was March 22. I came to Kiev and met the first Ukrainian soldier. So then I started connecting to all the Ukrainians around him, and then the next, and the next, and the next. And every time I came to Ukraine, and it was permanent, because I didn't go to Ukraine and back to Austria and just were there. I came back to Austria to take the next humanitarian aid, medical aid, to bring it back. So most of the time I came back to Austria, and I started my car again at the same day or at the next day, something like this. So I was on the road. But everywhere I came, I brought my humanitarian aid, and there were new people. And all the new people, they were so great. All of them. Especially at the beginning, at the first 4 to 6 months, there wasn't too much help from outside. They came to the border and so on, yes, but not inside, and especially not to the places closer to the Russians. And for me, it was, I have to go to exactly these places. I've been in Kiev when the Russians were around. I've been in Mykolaiv when the Russians were there, and so on and so on. Kharkiv and so on. So I just wanted to go closer to the places where they really needed my help. And the people there, it was so great to talk to them and to see that they are happy, not only getting the help. This was one part, yes, okay. But what they said was, you are coming thousands of kilometers to help us. This is what forced me to do more and more. And of course, I started to talk to the people, and then I learned so much. I learned to see, this is Russian, this is Ukrainian language. Okay, I can hear it. Okay, there's something very different. The Russian language always sounds a little bit like, and the Ukrainian language is like singing. So, okay, this is very different. Let's say, I don't know, rock, it's not the same. It's not the same. Yeah, that's it. So I learned to see the difference between Russia and Ukraine, and there's a lot of difference. A lot. It's not the same. Ukraine is 100% European. 100%. It is more European than we are in Austria. Yeah, I learned in Ukraine what it means to have a European Union. For me in Austria, it was, we have the European Union and they tell us what to do and blah, blah, blah. Here in Ukraine, I can see people, we want to be part of you because we want to be together, doing something together. And I also learned that all the help from the other countries of the European Union is so great. There are people from all around the European Union, and we're working together. Here we're working together. When I came to Ukraine, my English is not very good. But when I came to Ukraine, I couldn't speak English. So, but this is 3.5 years now, and always connected to people from the European Union, from United States, not Trump, of course, Canada, and so on. So you are connected to the whole world, and it is a great feeling to be together, to do it together.
I agree on that. In Ukraine, we currently have something like small EU slash small NATO community, you know, where you have to primarily speak English language, I think. What was your biggest discovery made in Ukraine?
My biggest discovery was that I came here and immediately felt that this is my country. This is my country. I will not go. Of course, I will go back to Austria to visit my family, but I will just go back to Austria to visit my family. This is my country, and I really didn't expect this. Here, you can, it is war, but you can feel freedom. All the people want to be free.
Would you say that Ukrainians are similar to Austrians, or are they different? When you speak to Ukrainians, do you hear any familiarities, for example?
Of course, they are in some points and parts they are similar. Of course, they are but there's a lot that is not similar. So telling somebody I need something, everybody will say yes, okay, I will do it for you. In Austria, they will say maybe yes, maybe they will say yes, maybe they will say no, but then it is a yes or a no. Here it is a yes, I will do it because I really want to do it, because I want to help you, but I'm not sure that I can do it. This is a problem I had to learn. The Ukrainians are, they have a very open heart, not from the very beginning. And when you see them on the streets, they're not. They're like from Vienna. In Vienna, Vienna, we are grumpy. We are just grumpy because we have to be grumpy, and it's okay. It's okay. And here it's almost the same. They are going like, this is my shoulder and this is my place, like this. But if you need something, if you talk to them, or if you are knocking on their door, you need a lot of time. But now you have to eat. Now you have to sleep there. Now you have to whatever. You are immediately kind of part of the family, immediately. And this is everywhere. And I don't think that we have this in Austria.
As a combat medic, would you say that the very type of the warfare changed very much in Ukraine? For example, judging from the injuries that people receive, the way it was in 2022 and the way it is now in 2025?
Maybe not too much the injuries. Yes, they changed, of course. But this wasn't the biggest problem. The war changed so much. Everybody who was here in 22 or 23 and thinks he knows something about this war at the front lines, oh no, you don't know anything about the war that we have now. I remember in winter 23, after, I think it was when must have been January, maybe February, when Soledar was occupied. I was sitting 7 kilometers from the Russians, and we had a barbecue outside, 7 kilometers from the Russians. Now, no way. You can't go closer than 15 kilometers, maybe 10, but no, no. And of course, not sitting anywhere. The drones, the range of the drones now is more than 25 kilometers, more than 25. I think maybe 40 kilometers sometimes. And I'm talking about FPV drones, not the long range drones. They are hunting cars, they are hunting people. They are just hunting with their drones. So this war changed a lot. And of course, the casualties also changed. We had, I think in 22 and maybe also 23, there were a lot of casualties by artillery and so on, but also gunshots. Now, I think you will not find a lot of gunshots. And also not too much artillery, of course, also artillery because of the glide bombs, the cup, and so on, like the artillery shells. It's almost the same. Much bigger, of course, but they're cutting the limbs and so on, like the artillery. But now you have a lot more drones. But this started, let's say, 24, summer of 24. It started to be most of it drones, drone everywhere, and you can see it because it is very often leg, but not only one limb, two legs, one arm. It is very often that you have a very small shrapnels in the face, also in the eyes. This is very often. This is very common.
Are you familiar with the combat medicine in Russia, for example, and how much is it different from what we have in Ukrainian army?
I've seen the let's call it tourniquet. This red one. I'm very happy that we use tourniquets. So I have my Dnipro tourniquet every day with me. In case they survive, they will not survive because they send them back to fight the next day or something like this. And I understand why. They don't need them to go home because he will be expensive in Russia. And the next guy will also die. It's no problem. You can jump on one leg to the front lines. You will die. It's no problem. This is the Russian way. And this is what surprised me a lot. I didn't think about this. In 22, for me, this was, yes, one army fighting another army. But no, it is not one army fighting another army. It is an army of zombies fighting people. And not only armed forces, they're fighting everything they can see. And they are zombies. They are zombies. They are just walking and walking and walking. They know that they will die. They know it. And they're just walking. So stupid. I can't understand it. But if there were not so much Russians, it would be perfect for us. But there are a lot.
How would you explain the reason for the Russian atrociousness?
At the beginning, I thought maybe they are brainwashed and think the Ukrainians are doing this, and so we also do it, whatever. But I think this was very wrong. They grew up in families that are not families. They also don't give a shit on them. Let's have 20 children, 10 will die. Doesn't matter. There are 10 left. It's okay. I think it is like this. And they are growing up in the way the strong will survive, and they have to beat the other to survive, and so on. So I think it is just their way of living.
What would you say to people in Europe, to European citizens who think that Russia can be negotiated with, people who think that Russia is a civilized country or admire their great Russian army?
You can see it. It's for me. This is a joke. For me, this is a joke. I tried to speak to a lot of people in especially Austria and also Germany, and it seems that it doesn't make too much sense because they don't understand the Russians. They don't understand it. Nobody can understand this kind of behavior, this kind of people. We grew up with the way of don't fight, talk. And if you have to talk 2 hours, do it 2 hours. 2 weeks, 2 weeks is okay, but don't fight. This is our way. But for the Russians, they don't think about talking. This is not their way. When they are talking, you know it's a lie. And the funny thing is, they know that you know it's a lie, but it doesn't matter because this is how they are dealing with everything. They are just lying, giving them one finger, and they will eat you. They will eat you. So not 1 centimeter, nothing, nothing. Don't give them anything. If you give them something, they want to have more.
Currently, a lot of European countries, a lot of decision makers are looking at the situation with peace talks with Putin. What is your opinion on that as someone who spent more than 3 years on the ground in Ukraine?
The only way to have peace is to push them out of Ukraine and build a fence. And maybe in 2 or 3 generations, maybe you can talk to them, maybe. But they need to change their system in their country. We can't do it. It is very different from Germany and Austria after the Second World War. We lost the war, and there were forces in our countries that told us how to be. And they supported us. This is what you always need. You have to do a lot of pressure, but supporting when they are doing it right. But how would you do it in Russia? You can't go to Russia. You can't go to have a lot of military pressure inside of Russia. That's not working. The only way is pressure on Russia in the economic way. This is the only way. We have to be stronger than them. And of course, Ukraine alone will not make it, of course. But let's say to all of the guys outside of Ukraine, you also wouldn't be able without help from outside. Not one of our countries would be able to fight against Russia without the countries around you. And don't think that if you come to with NATO and so on, you come to Ukraine, you would win this war because the Ukrainians don't know how to fight. Oh no, we outside don't know how to fight. It is a war we are not prepared for. We're not prepared for this kind of war. Nobody outside. The only thing that we have is the power of the United States to close the sky. Don't think that anybody can fight this war in a very different way than Ukraine is doing it. We just don't have, of course, enough people. We know it. And we don't have the support from outside that we need. Having the support from outside would mean that we wouldn't have to fight in Pokrovsk now. We would never lose Avdiivka with all the things that we needed. Just because we lost Avdiivka, they are now at Pokrovsk. And now they are Dobropila. Now they are going Konstantinivka. And in Kramatorsk, we have a lot of problems now just because of this. Just because of there was not enough of help and support. It was not because the Ukrainians are not good in fighting. They are. They are.
What can Europe do to help Ukraine win the war?
I don't want to say we need soldiers from outside because I know this would be a big problem. I know it. I understand it. But we need the weapons to protect our soldiers. We need to close the sky. We need to fight against the drones. Holding the lines is enough because of the Russians are sending their troops again and again and again. So the zombie army will come again and again. And at some point in 5 years, there are no more zombies. And then we can go forward without losing anybody. Give us what we need to hold the lines as long as we have to hold it. And then let's go forward.